So, a little bit of background information. Our author is Lizelle El Sharabi. She is a communication professor and scholar at Arizona State University, and she has authored our text, Why Can't We Be Friends? Examining the influence of social network profiles on initial interactions. So, sorry, pulling this up. Now, uncertainty reduction theory is kind of the key part of this study because it looks at how uncertainty reduction theory is affected by network profiles, social network profiles, which is basically social media. But yeah, let's get right into it. So the study. So the study was taken place. There were 30, not 15, 30 participants who were then partnered up to form 15 couples or 15 twosomes um, into and then those twosomes, those 15 different, those were then split into groups. So you had 6 and 7. And then one group was the control group. They were given flashcards, but the experimental group was given access to an online profile of their partner, and they were able to view that before their interaction. And then the other group was given flashcards with just basic information like their name, their job, etc. Now, during the test, they were given a pre-test to analyze any sort of uncertainty or any sort of prior knowledge of a certain person, and then a post-test to assess their affection towards the other person or their interest in the other person or their uncertainty in the other person. And that it goes along with their get to know you conversation, which they then had together after the pre-test before the post-test, which was recorded and analyzed by Sharabi. So what Sharabi did was she recorded it, analyzed it, basically the first 5 minutes, looking at any of the keywords in the first kind of 5 minutes of that interaction, seeing how social, if their profiles did anything to encourage any sort of trends or situations. I would read off the definition of uncertainty reduction theory, but I don't know if I have the time. But anyways, we'll get into the findings. So surprisingly, or not so surprisingly, the findings actually contradicted 5 of the axioms of URT. And so the axioms are the truths of initial of uncertainty reduction theory. And so those would be the 8 that are listed here. And so 5 of those were, sorry, 5 of the 8 were actually broken by this study. And it showed that individuals in this case were not necessarily, they didn't feel any less uncertain after viewing the online profile. And it actually surprised Sharabi herself because many of her hypotheses were incorrect. And this study did not follow the typical trend that other communication studies were going through. But nonetheless, after reading this, it still was a study, and I still was curious as to why. And that's why I realized, and so did Sharabi, that the sample size was too small. It was only 30 participants, and it was performed at Arizona State, I think. So there's a likely chance that the students that were participating knew each other. I think she said that she tried to separate them from different classes, but it's likely that they possibly knew each other from years prior. So it was difficult to control the participant pool. And it was such a small pool that likely some of the statistics just could not be trustworthy. So this study's effects on me, and there I am right there. But I think understanding uncertainty reduction theory affects my life and my virtual presence because I understand the importance that it has and how it can reduce things and improve your connections. And for some of my buddies, I'm in a relationship, but your online dating profile can be very important in reducing uncertainty and getting more matches and all that stuff. But I also appreciate the fact that uncertainty reduction theory is being applied to modern technological times. I appreciate that it's kind of being pushed forward, and we can see how social media and some of these different things are taking hold. But this study did happen in 2011, so it's a little bit outdated now, but I still think it's relevant. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it.